All right, this is a demonstration and a little slide presentation about threat intelligence, incident response as it moves into threat intelligence. And we're going to talk about that, and again, very lightly. In incident response, you know we have an incident response team. I have shown everybody how you can get experience today reporting spam and phishing messages, both email as well as text messages. You can report them, and I give you credit that you can put on your resume as incident response analysts. But I went a little bit further, and I said, well, what if you want to do something to actually discourage the bad actors? So I went through this, and I've got a little scenario here. Somebody's just getting ready to send out a new phishing campaign, 100,000 addressees, and all of a sudden when they go to initiate, their mail server says, I'm sorry, but Talos Intelligence, Cisco, has now rated this mail server as being untrusted, the mail server. And therefore, any site that uses Cisco, that includes Cisco Secure Firewall, that includes Snort, that includes, I forget all of the tools that Cisco owns, but anything that uses Cisco for threat intelligence relies on what are called reputation scores. And we, the public that are smart enough, can actually go help try and change those reputation scores. And I'll show you how to do that today. The incident response lifecycle involves, I think everyone hopefully knows this, preparation, detection and analysis, containment, eradication and recovery, and post-incident activity. Now, of course, the new fifth one is governance. Governance handles everything. How do we do it? According to what the law says we're supposed to do, reporting, activities we're supposed to do, threat levels we're supposed to maintain, those sorts of things. Governance is throughout everything. But I'm going to look specifically at post-incident activity in the incident response lifecycle. All right? As we're looking at it, it says you can do these things. Lessons learned? Hey, guess what? That's what we do here. Post-incident reports, yes, I keep track of those and give you information, or I give you participation certificates for that. Update plans, playbooks, and controls, and then share knowledge and intelligence. That's where we get into threat intelligence. So if you're sharing knowledge and intelligence, you share threat intelligence that helps to prepare others for similar threats. In other words, you say, yo, I just got attacked. This just occurred, and you add it to the body of threat intelligence that everyone uses. It's not just, hey, I got hacked. It's, I received this malicious message traffic. I reported it, and I'll give you a couple examples when we're looking at it. But then what do? You put it into the threat intelligence, and you try and change the reputation, that's the big word, reputation, of the senders and their websites. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Talos Intelligence. And according to them, it is the world's most comprehensive real-time threat detection network. And oh, by the way, you can use Talos Intelligence, their website, for free. So the Reputation Center in Talos Intelligence looks at web domains, looks at websites, IP addresses, and including email addresses, and it helps, like it says, it can distinguish trusted sites and untrusted sites, and it does that through what's called reputation. And then users, that's us, we can report malicious activity which might, no guarantee, but it might alter the reputation. So let's talk a little bit about those threat levels which associate to the reputations. Trusted means that they are doing activities that have been monitored and have been verified as being not malicious. Favorable, again, same sort of thing. Favorable is just short of trusted. Then there's neutral, neither good nor bad, but it was evaluated. Then there's questionable. Maybe there's a risk involved in this particular domain or site or email address. And then there's untrusted. That's where we want to come in, all right? It displays behavior that's exceptionally bad, malicious, or undesirable. And then unknown means that it hasn't been tested yet. Okay, so what we want to do, and I'll do it this way, we want to help identify those threat levels. If you receive malicious message traffic, that means that you should be able to report it and reduce that threat level from trusted or favorable down to maybe questionable or untrusted. All right? Because if they're sending it to you, you can guarantee they're sending it to 100,000 other people. Okay? So that's what we do. We help report so that these threat levels, these reputations are reduced to where they're supposed to be. They don't stay favorable if they're sending unfavorable information. Or if their mail server has been hijacked and somebody's using it to send out phishing emails, we need to help report that so that that particular mail server ends up becoming blacklisted and can't send that message traffic. Now, this is a two-way tool. It can be used by both the site owners to try and help increase their reputation, get it back after they've cleaned their server or whatever, gotten rid of the accounts that are sending all this nasty traffic from their mail server, or it can be used by us to report and lower that reputation because we're getting hit by stuff from their mail server. Okay, it's two different groups that can do it, and they're seeking to do it two different ways. The owner of the website typically is trying to help get their reputation back, and we, because we've been hammered by their stuff that originates from their website, we're trying to reduce that traffic. So they have what are called web threat categories, and there's a whole lot of them. And you basically say, you know, what type of threat is this? As you've taken a look at it, you've examined it, which do you think it is? And the great one is that you can say things like malware. You could say things like spam or phishing. And that's what you believe it to be. All right? You don't have to go so deep that you say, oh, that's definitely spam. Well, I consider pretty much all spam to be phishing. Just my thought on the matter. Because, you know, if somebody's trying to sell you a Igloo cooler, that's, you know, and I don't want an Igloo cooler, that's spam. But usually the link says Igloo cooler, and it goes to somewhere malicious that's starting to capture your keystrokes or your credentials, or, you know, trying to impersonate another site. So for me, that's phishing. So just my thought on the matter. Also, there are what are called web content categories. Now, this is something that just to add to your information here. I worked for an organization, and they had tens of thousands of customers. Their enterprise used these Cisco web content categories to determine what message traffic, what websites the members could visit. And if it was, for example, a malicious website, it was, let's say, gambling. The enterprise blocked it and said, if there is a web content categorization of gambling, you don't need to visit that website doing work for this organization. And they blocked all of them that were categorized as gambling or hate speech or weapons, etc. So, for example, I was sitting at work in my office in Washington, D.C. I couldn't go out and look at the latest prices on Smith & Wesson firearms because my organization said that's not part of your job and we're going to block it. So these web content categories can be used by your agencies or your organizations to say nobody should be visiting websites with this particular category. All right, so that does occur. And that, just something you can do. And Cisco keeps track of all of those. They characterize the websites into these particular things. And then if it's incorrect, then the owner of that website has to go back over to Talos Intelligence and try and explain why it should not be classified as this, but should instead be classified as this. All right, so the reputations and the classifications are all able to be changed, but you need to provide proof. Okay, so just something to think about. So this is basically how we do it. If we have been receiving malicious message traffic and we don't want to receive it anymore, we will go into Talos Intelligence, look for the Intelligence Center dialog box, paste an email address, paste an URL, website, or whatever that we've seen, paste it into Intelligence Center, and see what the reputation is for that. If we don't agree with that, we can open what's called a support ticket and say, look, I just got malware from this site, and it pointed me to this other site, which is a known malware site, that sort of thing. We can actually report on it, and if we and enough other people are persuasive enough, that reputation will go down. Okay, so this is something you can do. I've done it. I've changed the reputation of a particular website. I think it was a website, because I reported it. And that felt so good to say worldwide, because they hit me and I was educated enough to report it to Talos Intelligence lowered the reputation. Now, I'm sure there were others, but I helped. And that feels good to me. So you can complete and submit your ticket, and then all of those support tickets remain in the website for you to check on later on. This is what a reputation support ticket entry looks like. And it gives you some information about how you're supposed to fill it out. But basically, you're going to click down here. You're going to say the entry. When you press enter, it will actually do the research on it and show what the reputation is already right here. But it'll show a web reputation if one exists, threat category. Remember, is it a botnet? Is it malicious traffic? Is it phishing, etc.? So threat category, malware, they would all be there. And there is a suggested reputation change. Now, if you're not sure exactly where to go, then you suggest it gets changed to untrusted. Okay? Because they sent you stuff. So they shouldn't be trusted. That's the way I think about it. Now, in the totality of things, maybe yours was a unique instance, but usually when someone sends bad stuff, they send it to thousands of people at once. So you should not be the only person reporting malicious message traffic from that particular email address or pointing to that particular website. Okay, and then the platform, I'm not sure. I think they're talking about the various operating systems, I think. But I'm not sure about that one because I haven't, that's new. That's been added since I started doing this. So I have to look at that a little more in depth. And then there are what are called sender domain reputations. That is the from address in an email. All right, the previous one was web reputation where they send you to a website. This one is the from address of an email. Okay, you can literally report both. And oh, by the way, remember to say, to categorize or catalog every report that you do, because all of these count as reports on our incident response team web form. So you get experience as an incident response analyst, and also you can say that you were doing threat intelligence work as part of step 4 of the incident response lifecycle. Okay? See where I'm going with this? We do more and more and more. We report more and more and more, and I will give you credit from the incident response team as an analyst that you put in your resume. It's not just, I got a degree, I got these certifications. It's now I'm doing the work. Okay? Very important, and that's why I put this program together for everybody. So do some good. Report these bad folks and have fun at it. Now, before I go into the demonstration, does anybody have any questions or comments before I start with the actual demonstration? Anybody? Okay, cool beans. So I'm going to be showing some information on here that is personal to me, and I can't really remove it. So, no, sorry. I'm showing stuff that our streaming content provider may object to. It may get pulled, but if it does, I'm going to leave this on free conference call so you can do playbacks over there. So I get these emails. I get a whole lot of them. If I go down to my junk folder, you notice I get a whole lot of these emails in kanji, Japanese. And I have no idea what it is. Well, actually I do. If I look at it, I click on this one and it says amazon.co.jp. So they are claiming to be from Amazon in Japan, but they're not. So number one, they've committed the crime of fraud. We can report them over to the Federal Trade Commission. And number two, you should report it as malicious messages to Amazon. Amazon wants to know anybody that is masquerading as them. So you would forward this to reportascam@amazon.com. Remember, I have all of those listed in our reporting methods website, so that I've got like 40 different companies and organizations that want to know when people are trying to impersonate them. All right, so that's our incident response team stuff, but we're going to threat intel. Let's take a look at this one. So I'm going to do this one in my inbox. That was the latest one, just arrived today, I think. And I'm going to highlight everything in it, and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go over to Google Translate, because I don't read kanji, sorry. And then I'm going to drop it into Google Translate. And here's what it says. Dear customer, thank you for your continued patronage of amazon.co.jp. Is it Amazon? We'll see in a minute that it's not. But then they say, we're about ready to leave you a package. You can update the delivery instructions by dialing this number. That number is important if you're doing your reports, because if you look at this, that's all that's listed for your response. They're trying to get you to call that number, and so therefore that number should be in your report. All right? Anybody that responds to this will be dialing that number. Not a good thing for them to do. So number one, is this malicious traffic? Well, I'm going to go over to fishtool.com. And if you go to, I'm just going to pull up my dashboard, fishtool.com, you can get a free account. So, sign up for a free account, don't do the upgrade, and then go to uploads. And this is the message that I uploaded a few minutes ago, and you click on it. Fishtool does all the analysis of it without you even having to worry about it. It's a great tool. So first of all, it says it's coming from, I'm going to zoom it up so you can see it a little bit. That's not coming from amazon.co.jp. Okay, so it is fraudulent, right? So Also, if you look at the authentication, it's got a DKIM of neutral because it's coming from a website where they say it's amazon.co.jp, but it's not. So Fish Tool says, nah, this is, haha, this is fishy. so, so I'm going to report it. So now I go over to Talos Intelligence. And when you first connect to Talos Intelligence, this is kind of fun, and I'm just going to run you through it. They have what's called email and spam trends in Talos Intelligence, and it shows, for example, message traffic worldwide over the last 24 hours. And if you click on this one, it'll show spam traffic over the last 24 hours. And for many people who say, well, we're in America and the spam originates from outside of America, so they're not going to prosecute those jerks anyway, well, I got news for you. I'm going to zoom this up and look at how many inside America mail servers are sending malicious message traffic. Okay, so don't be fooled in thinking that everything comes from Nigeria. It doesn't. A lot of it comes from American continental email addresses and mail servers that can be stopped. Okay, so don't go thinking that nothing's going to happen if I click on it. Well, I beg to differ. All right. So if you look at this, it shows that there's malicious message traffic. Let's go back up to the intelligence search. This is the one that I told you about. I'm going to go over to, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to do this one. Not Google Translate, Fish Tool. And it shows the originating address details. There it is. So I'm going to put that address into intelligence search and select to do the search. Now this is, and I apologize if it's all black and everything, that's Cisco's way of trying to look all sinister, but it says that this particular website has been added to, oh no, it has not been added to a block list. So email is still flowing out of that mail server and its web reputation is blank. That means it has not been reported as being any sort of malicious message traffic, although you yourself just received something from it. So that there's no content category for it, which, I mean, that's fine. An email may not have a content category. A website may, but an email may not. So as I'm looking at it, it's, according to Talos Intelligence, according to Cisco, so far there's nothing to report about this website. Well, I don't like that. So I'm going to submit a web reputation ticket. If you don't have a Cisco login, you can't do this. All right, so this is why you need the Cisco login. So it says dispute the entry. It's coming from, hey, look at that, it already put it in there. And what is the threat category? Right now, it is nothing at all. And what is the reputation that you wish this to have? Well, I want it to say malicious. And I don't even want to suggest a threat category. So I'm just saying, make it malicious. And then what is the platform? Okay, I'm coming from oh, so that's what the platform is. This is from Talos Intelligence. Okay, cool. The other one said fish tank, which I'm not familiar with. So Talos Intelligence, and then web reputation data. This is your proof. This is your proof. So I'm going to go back out to, let's see, I'm going to go to Fish Tool and copy all of this and paste. I'm going to copy it and then paste it into the web reputation ticket. I'll say site sending email fraudulently as Amazon.co.jp. .co.jp, actually originating from, and then it's WEILIKONJIAN.com. Okay, and then I'm going to paste the email. So that's my claim that it says it's from Amazon. It's not. That's fraudulent. And in this one, I think they just listed a phone number. Let me go back and take a look at this again. Yeah, this just listed a phone number. So I'm reporting it all in the web reputation, and I'm submitting a ticket. And there it is. That's my ticket that I just submitted to Cisco Talos Intelligence to say, give this site a worse reputation. Reduce their reputation score because they're sending me bad stuff. Okay? That's the main purpose of using Talos Intelligence. And oh, by the way, I just submitted a report. And remember, that gets me incident response analyst experience because we reported on our web form. Remember that, everybody? I hope you do remember. I'm going to go back over here to the activity log. I'm going to say open up the web, tools, go to live form. I hope you all remember this form. This is where you report the activity that you have done. When you do, it goes to this site where I put together reports every month that say this person participated as an incident response analyst. They report they spent this long doing it, and they reported this many malicious messages. So this is what we've been doing since June of 2023. You're welcome to join us. There is no charge for this. And at the end of the month, everybody that participates will get, these are our people that have been participating, you'll get a certificate of participation. As incident response analysts, you're doing the work part-time as a volunteer, but it is still incident response analyst work and, in this case, threat intelligence work. Okay? So that's basically what I wanted to show everybody. So this is in the process of being processed. Right now, I said I want the reputation changed because of this. And I submitted it to Cisco. I'm going to show another one. Let's see, go to my email, and I'm going to go into my junk folder. By the way, you need to report it as spam or phishing as well on your mail server. That's another report. Because it came from Amazon, oh, by the way, let me do this. I am forwarding as an attachment to report a scam at Amazon.com. I'm getting rid of all my signature block stuff because they don't need to see that. And I'm sending that to Amazon because somebody said they were Amazon. So now I have made two reports, one to Talos Intelligence, one to Amazon. I'm going to go into my junk folder, and just to show you this one, let me paste this one into, see, it says copyright Amazon Japan, but it's not Amazon. So I'm going to put this one into Google Translate and show you what it says. It's very similar, but it says click here for order cancellation. So this contains a website link. This particular address, email, contains a website link. So if I am looking at this message, I say show the message source, and then I go down. I'm going to zoom this up so you can see it a little bit. This contains a website link. Let me search for it. HTTP. There it is. So there is the website link that I could also report to their web reputation at Talos Intelligence. So number one, for the first one, I reported it as a sender reputation. Number two, I could report it as a web reputation for the website that they're trying to send me to. Now, I'm not following that. I'm not going there because it could be, all sorts of bad stuff. I'm just saying they said they're from Amazon, which is a lie, and they want me to go to a site that's not Amazon, so therefore I believe this to be malicious. So I can do a web reputation ticket as well. That's two at Talos Intelligence. Then I forwarded it to Amazon, report a scam at Amazon.com. That's three. So I can put down on this log form that I have done 3 reports today for this particular website or message that I received. And then at the end of the month, I will get a certificate of participation saying that I've been doing incident response analyst work for the month of May 2026. That's all I had for the day. Does anybody have any questions? I realize there's a lot of technical stuff. You've got to go back and play this back again. And oh, by the way, I learned this all independently. I didn't go to a class. I just realized that the bad folks don't want their messages, their email messages, to be stopped. So I figured out, how do we stop it? We reduce the web reputation. How do you do that? Through Talos Intelligence. You do a sender reputation report or a web reputation report if it's a website address, and that in the end could help reduce the reputation to a point where every Cisco secure firewall and everything that uses the Cisco reputation tools is going to block it. It won't even hit your inbox, and it won't even hit the inbox of thousands of other innocent victims because you went out and did this. Any questions? Comments?
Hi, Scotty. This is actually really cool, and I knew that we could report, but having the Cisco having the website, I didn't knew it before, and this is very good to know today. And can you tell me how can I participate in this form thing?
Sure, absolutely. First of all, you should go over to Talos Intelligence and get the free Cisco login.
Sure.
Also, we have our incident response team. Let me see if I can pop it up here. Our incident response team is available to anyone. Man, I got so much stuff up here. Podcasts, reminders. Oh, here we go. I'll put this in the chat. Remember to copy it out of the chat. As soon as this session ends, our chat disappears. So, this is what you do. You report the information using the reporting methods. I'm going to bring that one up as well so you can see it. Reporting methods. Whoops, wrong one. Reporting methods. These are all the organizations that I've found, and if you find ones, let me know as well, that I've found they want to know if somebody is impersonating them. So you report it to them, and then their enforcement team goes out and tries to send these crooks to jail. You don't have to do it, but you've given them evidence by saying they just sent this to me, saying that they're Amazon or Geek Squad or Norton or Netflix or Apple, So all of this is available. I've assembled all this along with help. Thank you very much, Nicole. You provided too. If you see anybody that says, send your emails to us, if somebody says that they're us, IRS, Social Security, Microsoft, Omaha Steaks, that's a new one. I just got that one in the last couple of weeks. Omaha Steaks, they want to know. Send it to custserve@omahasteaks.com. If you do that, then you can go over to our report form and log your name, your email address, the date that you did this, the amount of time you spent, and the number of reports you filed. That's all you have to do. And at the end of the month, I will publish participation certificates for everybody that does it. You can then take that and put it into your resume as being incident response analyst experience. Does that help, Sanjana?
Yes, very much. Thank you so much for all the details.
Sure. Anyone else?
Is there a chat log? I don't see a chat log on my.
Yeah, it should be down at the bottom. Click on chat. Now, if you're in with a Gmail address, down at the very bottom there should be a chat button, and you just click on chat, and it should appear on the right-hand side of your screen.
There's no. I guess. Yeah, I don't see a chat.
Okay, well, send me an email or a chat later on, Chris, and I will send it to you. All of this information. Also, and this is just a blatant plug for our YouTube channel. We have over 160 YouTube videos out there that have this sort of information in it. So let me go to visit your channel. And the channel is at CS-Sensei. And we talk about how to be an incident response analyst. This video, if YouTube will allow it to go up there, because again, it contains my email addresses. If YouTube won't bring it down, then I'm going to put a video up there. Otherwise, I will publish it over on Free Conference Call, and you can take a look at it there. But I will start by trying to put it on YouTube on this channel. Okay? And there are dozens of different topics up here. This is the big one. Why join CyberSecurity Sensei, and why should you be an incident response analyst? That's the main one I point people to so you learn about the program. Okay, any other questions?